Hey y'all, it's Kristen from Ardani Farm. I wanted to make a quick video about a mud management strategy that we're going to be trying on our farm. We are located in southeastern Virginia, so we're about like mid-Atlantic region. We are in zone 8A, 7B, depending on which map you're looking at. And we back up to the Great Dismal Swamp. We are on about 5 acres. And mud management on our equine track system is one of our biggest struggles. We bought our property here in August and moved the horses in September, so some things had to be thrown up pretty quickly. We are running a track system for our horses to increase movement and hopefully get happier, healthier horses. But we're trying to do so with permaculture principles in mind. So now that we've had a little bit of breathing room, we're starting to kind of walk back to our permaculture principles and focus on like our skills of observation here. And when I first set up our track, I wanted to have lots of places for the horses to lounge and relax in addition to being on our track full time. We do have that feature already in place with our group shelter barn, which is behind me. We have some modifications we want to make to that, but that is here. But I had also provided some additional areas that were not surfaced, and I'm learning that that doesn't work, or at least it doesn't work here. Maybe in the southeast, maybe just on this property, but that hasn't been working for us, and so we're working on how to fix it. So one of the things I realized is, kind of observing where water wants to flow to. Again, if we had had this property for a full year ahead of time, I would have wanted to have watched that and made some of these choices then, but we were on a pretty tight time frame to get all the horses moved. So we're kind of like doing a little bit of after the fact analysis. And one of the places that water pools on our property is in between our track and the ditches, in a kind of low-lying area right outside of the barn. And this is one of those areas I was hoping to make a little lounge area, but rather than kind of fight nature, we're going to just accept it and work with it in line with our permaculture principles. So as I was saying, this area you can see we had some pretty significant, we've had a very wet winter, which is slightly uncharacteristic for us, but we're rolling with it. And you can see we have our, maybe you can see, I'll show another clip, but we have a surface track, and then coming off the barn, we have this place here of standing water. So right now the horses have access to this, and I was feeling a little bit guilty about, taking away more space from them. But as I was watching it and realizing that it's really not quality space. So we are going to take them off of this and allow it to green up, to put some roots down to help absorb water. And then we're also going to landscape this area, which will provide shade, hopefully enrichment in the future as trees grow up and over fence lines, some browsing opportunities for them. And then we'll make additional surfaced, intentional lounging areas for them, either up here or in the back. Once this gets fully established, which I imagine is going to take us a year or more, I would want to carve out a path, which will eventually go back to our extended track in the back. But I want to make sure that we have this kind of nature's mud grids down, which is something to stabilize the soil, trees, deep-rooted plants, those sorts of things. Since water does pool in this area, I'm going to want to plant water-loving plants. And since we are trying to establish a wide range of wildlife habitat for birds and other small mammals, I am going to stick with plants that are native to our area. I'm super lucky that locally we have 2 really great native nurseries to choose from. It's a little bit outside of the season to be planting right now. It's just a smidge too cold, and we have the coldest part of our year is coming up. But some bare root trees and stuff could probably go in now. I'm looking at things like river birch. As far as trees, we could also potentially do some cypress trees, possibly some cedar trees. Sorry, our chickens are coming up the lane. And then for herbaceous plants and perennials, we're looking at things like swamp mallow, the Carolina rose, or the swamp rose, which are native here, and we have some other options in terms of like slightly bigger shade type, kind of large shrubs, small trees. I've been really liking the wax myrtles lately, especially since they stay evergreen, which means that they're sucking up water all year round, which again, since it looks like our winters are heading wetter, I think that that could be very helpful for us. So anyway, I just wanted to show you what it looks like before and kind of explain our theory as to why I'm taking away a little bit more land from the horses, which hurts my soul a little bit, but I think it'll all pay off in the end. Hopefully you'll kind of stay with us on this progress, and we can have like an amazing before and after photo where our, hi ladies, and Fred, just passing through. Amazing before and after, and you can see my idea hopefully come to fruition. If not, we're just going to keep observing and keep modifying and iterating and making small changes as the kind of land and climate and all those things change. We get to watch it and evaluate and, you know, hopefully keep our progress going forward. So thanks so much. Again, I'm going to do a couple quick shots so you can see kind of where we are and how I am going to fence it off temporarily, and then I'll update you on the trees that we pick, why we picked them, and where they went. And then hopefully this time next year we'll have a much different space here for the horses.